Hadiri. From one employee to a team, collaborating with another team.
From one partner to their customers, to their customers' customers. Expanding opportunity.
Earning trust. Protecting fundamental rights.
And advancing sustainability.
For our society.
Our economy. Our world.
That's the impact. That's the impact.
That's the impact each of us can have.
That's our collective opportunity, empowering 8 billion people.
We are in a new era of AI,
where we will be able to build as fast as our imagination,
unlock our creativity,
and innovate responsibly
as we take on society's biggest challenges.
Together, we can ensure these benefits reach
every country, every industry,
and every individual.
When we empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more,
we empower the world.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It's fantastic to be back in Indonesia and in Jakarta. It's my third visit in the last 10 years that I've been CEO of Microsoft, and it's always fantastic to be back here to see the innovation, see the energy, and especially at a time like this when there is a new platform that's being born right in front of us with the AI revolution. In fact, we're in the year 2 of the AI transformation and platform shift. And I want to talk about what this platform shift means to every developer and every organization and the broader society in Indonesia. Because of the scaling laws, there are unbelievable new capabilities that this AI platform seems to essentially get in each generation. I had a chance to track this from the early sort of versions of GPT all the way to now. Fundamentally, you have the ability to have much more natural language interfaces, more reasoning and planning capability, more context and memory. So this is what's happening with each new generation as we scale. And ultimately, though, this AI technology is all to bend the curve on economic growth. The overall objective we collectively have is, can we take this as a new input to create economic growth as output? And in that context, I think if you sort of say there was the Industrial Revolution, there was the Information Technology Revolution, this intelligence revolution is going to be the next major bend in the curve of GDP growth. And this is going to have a real impact even in Indonesia, where we will have in the region approximately 12-10% extra growth. And that's, I think, going to be very, very impactful across the society. And that's what grounds us in our mission to empower every person and every organization in Indonesia to achieve more. And what we are doing in support of it is building a complete technology stack, everything from infrastructure to data, all the way up to the tools and applications. So we're building a full stack of innovation that takes advantage. It's being fundamentally rewired because of AI. And ultimately to change these digital transformation outcomes, right? Whether it's how you service your employees or customers, your business process improvement, or new innovation. These are the transformational opportunities that I think all of us broadly have. And so when you think about this, the real question is, how do we go approach this platform shift? What should any one of us in any organization, whether it be a startup or a large conglomerate, whether it be public sector or private sector, what should we do to take advantage of this AI transformation? I would submit that there are 3 major considerations. The first one being all around how to unlock the broad horizontal productivity by adopting the best tools that are available, that are AI powered, so that your organization can directly benefit from it. In fact, that was the inspiration for Microsoft Copilot. We built Copilot so that you can take both the world's knowledge as well as your organization's knowledge and help you reason about it faster, and then to create new knowledge faster, and also act and make decisions and move the productivity frontier in your organization. In fact, we launched a video at Super Bowl last year, or a few months earlier, and so I just wanted to roll the video to give you a flavor for what Copilot can do for any organization and any person. Let's roll the video.
Good morning.
Watch me.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
It's really exciting to see this Copilot era because the productivity stats are pretty stunning. It's totally changing how people create knowledge, and the knowledge diffuses throughout the organization. We describe it as knowledge turns. We are seeing every workflow and work artifact change. In fact, this is what happened during the early days of the PC era. We all remember pre-email, pre-spreadsheets, how we did something like forecasting. The same thing is now happening even in the Copilot era, where because of the way the knowledge gets created and knowledge gets diffused, the work and workflow inside of any enterprise, any commercial organization, or any public sector organization is fundamentally changing. And in fact, right here in Indonesia, it's fantastic to see the examples. I had a chance to meet the developers at Dana, which is great to see. In fact, one of the things that they showed me is how they were using GitHub Copilot to accelerate how new banks that got integrated was going from hours and hours to 10 minutes. That was just a fantastic example. We are seeing examples of how Boomer is using Microsoft 365 Copilot and Telkom Indonesia. So we have great examples right here of people using technology to change, as I said, work and workflow. Talking about developers, GitHub is obviously the place where every developer lives, where all code lives. And right here in Indonesia, we are seeing tremendous growth. In fact, over the last couple of years, we've seen 2x growth in software developers in Indonesia. We have, in fact, I think Indonesia is going to be number 5 globally by 2026, so it's going to be exciting, yeah? And there has been 200+% growth in Gen AI projects right here in Indonesia. So this speaks to how rapidly this technology is being diffused. In fact, just yesterday, I was very excited to see us launch the preview of GitHub Copilot Workspace. If you think about what GitHub Copilot did, it brought an AI pair programmer to every software engineer. And now with Copilot Workspaces, you now can go from issue to code, right? So you're not just operating at a single file level, but you're operating at the repo level. It's, I think, going to be the next big breakthrough in AI. And to show you all of this, I wanted to have Karan from our GitHub team come show you GitHub Copilot Workspaces. Karan, come on up. Welcome.
Thanks, Satya.
Thanks.
All right. Today, I'll show you what GitHub Copilot can do for you and how it can help you be more productive. I'll also give you a preview of GitHub Copilot Workspace. So let's get started. Now, I want to add sign-up functionality to this website I'm building in TypeScript with GitHub Copilot. First, let's add a sign-up button. I'll write a comment for it, and GitHub Copilot writes the code for me, working with me along the way. Nice. Now, I want to make sure my users are entering valid email addresses, and I need some help with that. I have a regular expression here, but it's hard to read. With GitHub Copilot, it truly feels like I'm working with a paired programmer. In this case, I can ask it to help explain code that I'm unfamiliar with, even if it's a regular expression. And the amazing thing is that I can even do this in Bahasa Indonesia, and there it is, fantastic. So you can see that GitHub Copilot picks up its cues on what language to answer in based on how I ask the question. GitHub Copilot chat can also be invoked inline, so it can work with the code in place. To get to it, just hit Control or Command I. Now, I want to ask Copilot to help me write the entire sign-up page, asking for email, password, and password confirmation. And I can again do this in Bahasa Indonesia. All right. Amazing. You can see that Copilot didn't just understand what I wanted, but it's actually written the entire code for me. That looks good, so I'll accept that change. But like me, GitHub Copilot doesn't just live in the editor, it's also with me on github.com. So GitHub Copilot can also now generate a description of changes in a pull request. It doesn't just list all of the changes, but it also gives you useful, meaningful descriptions of what the change does. And it also gives you deep links to the specific lines of code that has changed. There it is. That's it. I've shown you how your multilingual pair programmer can help you be more productive. But there's more. Today, I'm excited to show you the technical preview of a new feature we have been working on, GitHub Copilot Workspace, a Copilot native development environment that helps you jumpstart every task while working in natural language. So let's get started and see what it looks like. So far in our demo, we've written a sign-up page, but we also need a login page, right? So we can start off right from an issue where our requirements are described and begin development in Copilot Workspace. So Copilot derives the context from your issue and your code base to create a detailed specification with proposed changes. It can also then generate a plan on how to implement these changes by referencing relevant files within the code base. Copilot also helps you implement this plan by making changes to relevant files. So you can also make edits to the specification, the plan, or the implementation to suit your needs. So I'm going to make an edit right over here within the browser and say, well, use client. Copilot Workspace comes with a complete development environment running in Azure, even with a terminal that you can see right here within the browser. So you can also see your app come up live in a preview, so you can see how the code that Copilot has generated comes up. So I have that open over here, and we can see how that comes up. All right. Some of the joys of successful demos out over here where you can see what comes up. All right, so we can just reconnect it so the code space that's backing over here can come up, and then you can start seeing your app running right in a preview environment. All right, there it is. You can see a terminal. You can see the app coming up live over here as we are speaking, and I can open a preview of this, which goes and connects right there in the browser to the code that Copilot Workspace has written for me. And there it is. Let's go take a look at the login page that got written by Copilot Workspace. And there it is. All of this happened in just a few seconds with GitHub Copilot Workspace. So with GitHub's powerful code intelligence, Copilot helps you get the critical information you need in the natural language you're most comfortable with. It's a patient and tireless pair programmer that's ready for you any time of the day or night, and it's embedded right where we are creating code, so we can build more faster. Back to you, Satya.
Thank you, Karan.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's always, every time I see a demo of GitHub Copilot, I'm reminded of what a change it has been to every weekend of mine, right? I can go into weekends and start coding away without being afraid that I won't finish the project. And this next big breakthrough around workspaces, I think is going to be a game changer. It goes, as I said, from being just an AI pair programmer to being an agentic AI experience that totally works across the entire repo, going from an issue to a plan to changing multiple files to a pull request. I think is going to be a real change in software project productivity going forward. So the next thing I want to talk about is, let's say we have all of these copilots, right? From Microsoft 365 Copilot to GitHub Copilot to Sales Copilot and all the others. The question is, how do we individually inside our organization build our own AI applications? And that's really what Azure is all about. We're building a full Copilot stack into Azure, right? We're taking everything, in fact, we have used internally to build systems like GitHub Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot and making it first-class part of Azure at every layer of the stack. In fact, it starts with infrastructure. Azure today has 60-plus regions, 300-plus data centers around the world, more data center regions than any other public cloud. We announced our data centers are coming to Indonesia soon, so that's exciting. And in fact, the thing that I'm really excited to announce today is the expanded announcement of data center investments, so $1.7 billion to bring the latest and greatest AI infrastructure to Indonesia. So I'm very, very excited about this. That means that we will have the world-class training inference infrastructure, whether it's NVIDIA, whether it's AMD or Microsoft's own Maya chips, will all be part of the data center infrastructure, allowing every developer to be able to train their models, do the best inference of their models through all of the infrastructure. So we're going to lead this wave in terms of the next generation of AI infrastructure that's needed. And of course, we'll have the best selection of models, whether there's frontier models like Azure OpenAI or open source models like Mistral or Llama. They're all going to be available on Azure for developers to be able to use. Because any application is not about any one model. It's about continuously building your own tuned applications with an ensemble of models. And we want to have the best, broadest selection of models. In fact, talking about model development, one of the new phenomena is not just large language models, but even small language models. In fact, Microsoft has been leading the way with the 5 family of models, which are the best for parameter count performance ratio. Phi is the best in class. If you go to Hugging Face, you'll see that. And so we are very excited with the launch of Phi 3 and what it does. We've taken a very different novel approach in using synthetic data to train these models. We're excited about their performance. I think that this is going to have massive implications for any software developer who wants a great model, but optimized for latency, optimized for context length, optimized for performance and cost. And so therefore, we're excited about the Phi family. We're not just doing models for knowledge work. We're also doing models where we are teaching these large language models the language of science. This is perhaps one of the things which will have the most profound impact over time, whether it's chemistry, whether it's physics, whether it's biology. Essentially, you can use the same approach to be able to teach these models the language of science and have real breakthroughs. In fact, we produced a new material using the chemistry model, which had 70% less lithium for a battery. And we produced them using essentially that new compound and the new molecules. We were able to build that new material end to end, and it's fantastic to see. Same thing on biology. In fact, we're working with Giddy to discover drugs for TB. Unfortunately, still, a lot of people still die because of TB because the disease itself is mutating and is drug resistant. And so therefore, you need new drug discovery to be sped up. And so you can use, again, AI models for science to speed up drug discovery. So AI for science is a thing that we're very, very committed to. And beyond models, the other aspect is, of course, the data layer, right? This is the foundation layer. There's no AI without data, whether it's for grounding or for training. you need that. And so we are building the end-to-end database tier, whether it's the operational data stores for SQL and Cosmos on one end, or Fabric with the analytics on the other end-to-end, really such that it's AI aware. So you can bring your AI models to your data tier, have all of the governance. And this is not just about our data tier. We'll have also Snowflake, Databricks, as well as Oracle in Azure, so that means you can take your data, make it cloud native, take AI to the data to build the next generation of applications. So we're very excited about what's happening in the data layer. And then, of course, all of this comes together, as you saw with GitHub in the tool chain, right? It's VS Code and GitHub. Think of it as the inner loop. We also take this and integrate it with our low-code, no-code tools with Power Platform. And so you have now, not just for the professional software developer, but even for the domain expert, can participate in the AI transformation of any organization. So that's the most exciting thing going forward, to have the best tool chain for everyone in the organization. And in fact, right here in Indonesia, we are very excited to see lots of developers who are going through the AI Odyssey program. I think there are many of them in the audience, so let's give them a round of applause. And it's great to see all of the customers who are also using some of these products. I had a chance to meet with folks. In fact, one of the most amazing example I saw was the Mitra Netra. They took Arabic Braille, basically Arabic text, converted it into Braille or Braille to Arabic. And then, so to be able to do that using essentially GPT-V. So they used the GPT vision model to be able to build that. Had a chance to see the railways, KAI use, I think it's called Hello Neelam. That was the bot they built. It was just very, very cool to see. I had also a chance to see the university, which is the Open University here, Universitas Terbuka. I saw that they built a personalized tutor that's scaling to, it's unbelievable to see the scale. They have 500,000 students enrolled today, and they have an ambition to get to 1 million soon. So all over the place, it's great to see how these technologies are not just being talked about. I've never seen anything like this where something was developed a few months or a year or so ago, but it's now broadly getting deployed by people right here as developers, bringing this technology to have real impact in the Indonesian society across a variety of sectors. And speaking about a variety of sectors, it's exciting to see what e-fishery has done by building out their Masaya to assist the aqua farmers in Indonesia. It's a great example of how, in fact, the application brought Azure IoT and Azure OpenAI together to build this entire end-to-end solution for every aqua farmer in the region. Let's roll the video.
In 2050, it is projected that 10 to 30% of global population will have difficulty to access good quality protein. We believe that aquaculture is a solution. Indonesia is one of the biggest aquaculture producers in the world. Roughly, there are 1 million fish and shrimp farmers. e-fishery provides IoT devices like feeders and water sensors. But most farmers don't have very advanced knowledge about what to do with the data collected in the pond.
Keseharian saya itu setiap harinya nambah udang, terus setiap hari ya rutinitas hari-hari lah, cek anco, cek pakan, terus melihat kualitas air, kayak gitu aja.
Generative AI can learn from the data to help improve the farmer productivity. Mas Ahya is a persona that we put in our farmer app. So if a farmer open our app, he can start chatting with Mas Ahya. Farmers can easily access insight collected in Azure IoT Hub because Azure OpenAI translates the data to something that farmers can understand and in their local language.
Setelah ada Mas Ahya, langsung ketahuan datanya yang kualitas air. Lebih cepat tahu keadaan kolam saya gimana, kualitas air atau apa, misalkan pasca mau panen.
Saged enten masalah niku saged langsung tangklet, langsung dijawab wonten pun nggih saking Mas Ahya niku saged mengajari dari saking nol mengke dugi saged panen Rencananipun kula setelah wonten aplikasi Mas Ahya niki insyaallah ajeng nambah pola malih, lebih menghemat tenaga, lebih menghemat operasional.
IoT as a standalone solution is very powerful, but if it is combined with Mas Ahya, it will make aquaculture industry become more efficient and more sustainable. We believe that technology is the answer to this global food insecurity problem.
I think it's a fantastic example to talk about how AI is not just about knowledge work in the office, but it's about the real world impact it's going to have across every sector of the economy. And to close out, I wanted to talk about the third imperative. And perhaps this is going to be one of the most crucial imperatives going forward, because ultimately any new technology is all about the trust we have in that technology. That means security and safety around the technology is paramount. And so that's why at Microsoft we started last November the Secure Future Initiative, which is fundamentally grounded on how do we shift left by design, how to make sure security is something that's built in, security by default, and really ensuring that we have secure operations all around. We have 6 pillars that we are driving real progress every day. This is security above all else for Microsoft. This is going to be something that you'll see us rapidly make progress in order to ensure that the technology that you have is the most secure. Beyond the security, it's also the products we're producing, right? Whether it is the endpoint protection, identity protection, whether it is the cross-cloud compliance, we have really brought all of these things together as one robust zero-trust architecture that you can implement around your digital estates. So we are really taking advantage of the 8 trillion plus signals that we see every day in order to protect the digital estates that we get to have in our cloud and bring that in the product set, which is truly multi-cloud and multi-client endpoints. So therefore, we're very excited about that. And then, of course, when it comes to AI safety, one is we have a set of promises. One is your data is your data. We don't train on your data. We secure all of your models and your model weights and your data using that first-class security infrastructure, and we also protect copyrights and also indemnify you if you use these AI products on any copyright litigation. So that's one of our set of promises when it comes to AI. And one of the big considerations is anyone developing AI can take advantage of the same set of tools we are using for responsible AI development. So when we built Copilot, we built into Azure AI all of the same services for AI safety. So the same classifiers and other tools and evaluation tools in order for you to be able to make sure that any AI product can be safely deployed. And this is all grounded on a set of principles that we've had at Microsoft that we have been able to translate into engineering processes and tools that are available to all of you. So AI safety, again, is built into the tooling. Now, I want to close out by saying that these are the 3 imperatives that you can use to be able to make progress on AI. And this brings us back all the way to our mission. Our mission ultimately, as I said, is to empower every person and every organization in Indonesia to take advantage of this next big AI wave and create economic surplus and value right here in this society. And that means it's very important for us to ensure that everybody can participate in it. That means skilling is one of the most important considerations. So I'm very, very pleased to announce that we at Microsoft are going to train 2.5 million people by 2025 across the ASEAN region. In fact, 840,000 right here in Indonesia alone. So we're very, very excited about the skilling initiative. And I want to leave you with an example of what this skilling can do to one individual right here in this region. Thank you all very, very much. Have a fantastic rest of the conference. Thank you.
In Indonesia, we have a very excited and passionate young population that is hungry for new opportunities, getting access to digital skills.
Pertama sih kerjaan yang aku ambil tuh part time sebagai customer service representative. Terus akhirnya karena kontraknya selesai, pengen juga switch karir juga, nggak cuma stuck di admin aja. Kayaknya aku harus nyari pengalaman lagi atau ilmu lagi biar aku bisa naik ke step selanjutnya sih, nggak cuma karir di itu-itu aja kayak gitu sih.
Shalin picked up Excel in data analysis through the Skills for Jobs program, and now she's incorporated AI to help her in how she's visualizing data to solve problems.
Banyak sekali sih perubahan dari yang semisal aku mau tanya ini atau pengen reporting ini tapi aku bingung gimana cara report yang bagus. Jadi aku biasanya pakai AI sih. Jadi kayak lebih memangkas waktu sih, kayak lebih cepat kerjaan selesai gitu sih. Akhirnya ikut pelatihan lain atau nyoba belajar di bidang lain kayak gitu sih.
AI is reducing the barriers by really helping people to understand the exact problem they are facing and get access to the content and solutions right away. This gives me a lot of hope knowing that AI can really give everyone the tools and tech to be their best version of themselves.
Gak usah takut mau nyoba apapun selama kamu pengen, kamu mau, kamu niat, lakukan aja gitu sih. Dan gak boleh nyerah.